All right, Jade Helm. Jade Helm. You know, it's a firestorm that's brewing out there on the internet. And I'm here to make this video because one of my buddies, dear pastor and friend of mine, who is a soft guy, Special Forces, Pastor Fox, 20 years, Green Beret. And of course, you know, here I am, Pastor Dow. You see me wearing a cap, 82nd Airborne Division. And as far as, you know, I mean, I was in 82nd for 5.5 years, and I finished up at the Joint Readiness Training Center in Op 4. So I am very, 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 very familiar. You know, JRTC is the one who was the OCs and stuff, but the Op 4 is the ones who actually did the actual missions and did the role plays. And that was our job, was to train the actual military units. You know, we constantly, and Op 4, by the way, stands for opposing forces. That was our job. And we constantly train all the elite forces in the United States of America. Of course, my unit was a jump unit. That's the reason why we wore the beret. We wore the maroon beret. Some of you call it red beret. But if you wore a beret, of course, now the whole United States military is trying to make everybody commandos. They turn around and strip the black beret from the Army Rangers and gave it to the regular Army people. And you got these legs running around who thinking that they're commandos and think that they can meet the training of people that are, you know, in jump units or special skilled identifiers. It's comical. It literally is laughable. But I'm not here to make disparaging comments based on a military unit which is supposed to be one cohesive unit operating together. I'm just stating the facts that there are different skill sets. While that I was, you know, in an elite unit and training elite soldiers, there are people who have greater skill sets than even what I had and what I was actually trained for. And Pastor Fox just happened to be one of them. And I think that it would actually do many of you a lot of good out there if you actually take heed to what he's saying. I mean, after all, we're dealing with someone with experience. Between myself and him, we have 30 years of military experience. 30 years. And I'm not talking about 30 years of sitting behind a desk, twiddling our thumbs or pushing paperwork or just showing up to do common task skills every once in a while or something like. I'm talking about living, eating, breathing, hardcore training. And I know that many of you, it's hard for you to believe, but we know a false flag when we see one. And you would think that with someone of his caliber, someone of my caliber who actually lived this thing, and if you want to know what's really truly going on in this world, all you do is just pay attention to our channel to see what we're talking about. Jade Helm is not a martial law military takeover or a coup or anything like somebody likes to label it. In Op 4, you know, one of our strengths was role playing. And of course, we incorporated a lot of civilians in our role play. And he's right. You know, given the terrain of a common military base and stuff, there's no way you can actually do the training in the confines of military base. I mean, Fort Bragg and Fort Hood, Texas are some large bases, but in order to conduct something like this, you know, you need a vast terrain. But I think that many of you people out there who are not experts, just because you hear somebody say something and then you turn around and you rehash and regurgitate what somebody else has said and stuff, that does not make you a military tactician, nor does that make you an expert by any stretch of imagination. And when you hear somebody of the character, like my friend Pastor Joe Fox, get on here and say something to you to try to inform you, he's not an informant. No, he's not informing, and nor is he some type of playing both sides of the fence or what do you want to call it. I know him personally. I've slept in his home. He slept in my home. I've eaten at his dinner table and he's eaten at mine. I've been on his community and slept there many days, and likewise him. We know each other. So, but if this man, see, I can talk to you straight from character. He knows what he's talking about. You don't know what you're talking about. And you can get somebody out there that every time you turn around, everything is a conspiracy theory. I remember when at the turn of this century right here, Y2K, everybody, Y2K, oh, it's all going to, I said, ain't nothing going to happen. It's going to be another day. It's going to come and go. Of course, what did I get when I was on international shortwave radio and all this other stuff? I immediately got opposition. Why? Because there are people out there that love to get you all up in the uproar over nothing. I'm not saying that we should lose our edge and not have a heightened sense of awareness. What I am saying is this. I'm saying that there are people out there that know how to read the writing on the wall. Not because somebody put something out, then we go regurgitate exactly what they said and stuff. But we talking about people from actual experience. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm far removed from the military and have been for quite some time. And likewise, Pastor Fox and stuff like this. But we do have friends that are connected still to the service. And they keep us quite informed of what's actually going on. But when you get to now I'm not talking about the National Guard. But when you get to people like the Special Forces, the Army Rangers, and I'm talking about just in the branches of the Army or the paratroopers in 82nd, Op 4, or when you start getting into the elite forces like that, all right, you're getting into people who, what Pastor Fox said is true, you're getting into the type of quality of people who are actually patriots for this country, where they're fighting for the military, within the military. Yeah, but there's a lot of things I did not know when I was in the military. Now I'm on the other side of it that I know now. But in their heart of hearts, I know a lot of soldiers, or I knew of a lot of soldiers that they were actually just patriots at heart. And especially those who wear the berets, and especially Pastor Fox and them. These are actually patriots. They're for you and your right to be able to own guns and to handle guns. And if there was something that was going to go down in this country that we believe to be some type of a threat, we would tell you. I mean, after all, just because we're a little bit removed from the military does not mean that we're literally unfamiliar with the doctrine of the military and how they do things. Does it change over the years? Sure it does. It changes over the years. But they're practicing in this terrain right here. And it's just part of the role-playing scenario situation. It's not like the SWAT team doing some type of role play in the middle of a city or downtown Houston or something like that. It really is good training. But I mean, everybody in the military, even though they have an agenda, and they are probably, majority of people in the military really have no idea that they're actually playing into the hands of the New World Order. But when it comes time to draw a line in the sand or something like that, and actually turning and firing upon the American public, that's not going to happen with those who are in special skills identifiers. You know what I mean? Those people that jump out of planes, we may be considered in this world right here crackpot nuts and kooks and everything, but don't you think for 1 minute that we don't know what's going on. Don't you think that for 1 minute. And I would much rather take my advice personally from someone who is experienced and who's not only been in there, but now he is out of there and he understands more about both sides of the fence. A man that has a lot of intelligence. They know how to gather information from all sides of the fence and then be able to report to us. I would take Pastor Fox's opinion over anyone else's in this world, simply because I know him. And most of you don't. And I know what many of you people, this doesn't even interest you. I know it doesn't. We try our best to motivate you to get your skill sets up and everything else. But, you look at the militia in this country. Every time something goes down, everybody always talk about what they're going to do. And then when it comes time to actually let the rubber meet the road, there's no tires on the road. I mean, it's utterly amazing. But, hey, the truth is, it's a training exercise, and that's all it is. And remember this, the military is at least 5 to 10 years ahead of what's going on now in this world. Because I remember when we was doing mock-up door training there at JRTC in 93, 94, 92, 93, 94, there was only a prelude for us going into Iraq. Training for way on down the road for Afghanistan. And I mean, it's just part of it. But Pastor Fox knows what he's talking about. And all you other people out there that actually don't know him and really truly don't understand exactly what's going on, let me ask you something. What are you doing in your life right now that will convince anyone that you believe? If you believe that martial law is going down, what are you doing? What type of life do you live? You still stuck in the city? Are you still sitting there, so-called fearing a martial law while you do nothing about preparation? You do nothing to develop your skill set or anything at all? No. You're out of your minds. You're out of your minds. And I understand. I don't expect everybody to embrace and understand this, but the truth is, he knows what he's talking about. And that's just all there's to it. And you do well to take heed of what he's saying. And when he says, when he, at one video, he says, what are you going to do about it? Then what do you do about it is, if you know all this and you think it to be a threat, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to still stay mind numb, continue to keep in the same old chaotic mindset, operating in terror and fear? Or are you going to prepare yourself just in case something ever did go down? And even if something did go down, you don't have any mutual assistance group. You can barely find 2 or 3 people that you can even keep unity with for even a few months, much less a few years and stuff. Who can you trust in a world without rule of law? Since when you look in the mirror, you give yourself a pass and stuff, and you haven't even tested and proven and tried yourself. It's a shame. It's a literal shame that you people get so stirred up as soon as somebody says something, and you never, ever take the ones who have the experience and really, truly know what's going on. Well, anyway, I hope I've been able to say something here, but I tell you what, we're going to enter into spiritual warfare for all you people out there that are actually attacking our friend and stuff, but most of you people don't know that. But I will tell you this, there's no laws against spiritual warfare, and I promise you that. And if there's somebody know what they're doing, you better believe that Pastor Dow does, and that's the truth. And that's the truth straight way. Keep your feet and knees together.